time to learn, grow, and have a good time. So have a bit of a good time. Wow, blah. Okay, so today we are going to talk about teaching design, online courses, and have a little bit of fun in just doing that. So we're also going to touch a little bit of where education and tech is hitting and all that stuff. So before I introduce my guests, I have some announcements to make. We have Speed Build Challenge. It is coming. We're kicking it off July 10th with the qualifier submission challenge. So details will be announced on a live stream that day, at which point you have until July 14th midnight to submit your design to enter. Details on the website is in the link in the description. Until then, make sure you find a partner, as you are required to enter in teams of 2. So 1 designer, 1 builder. Okay, next, Webflow Release. It is happening in 2 days. An exclusive look into Webflow's future. We have Vlad, Rachel, Emily, we have Linda just sharing huge announcements, a lot of big drops coming your way. So sign up to attend in the exclusive live stream. Also, the link is in the description. Finally, Webflow Conf ticket raffle. It's happening. We are giving away 1 ticket each month for June, July, and August. So if you win, but you can't attend for either the locations, you can redeem it for a $200 credit at our merch store. To be eligible, you'll need to register at the Webflow Conf online. So make sure you do that. Sign up below for a chance to win. And so, okay, that's it. Announcements are out of the way. Okay, so here's what's happening for today. I'm going to introduce Femke and Joey. Super excited to have them on. We're going to learn about their courses and online courses and all that. And then we're going to do a fun website critique. And then we're going to talk about insights on teaching design, and then hear their stories of how to get started. And then finally a Q&A from you, the audience. Okay, so without further ado, please welcome Femke and Joey. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
it's good to see
How
you.
are you? Welcome to the live stream. We have lots of amazing people here on the stream. So why don't you come and help welcome them? So we have, who do we have here? Raj from Canada. Hello. Where are you guys streaming in from? Khalid from Kuwait. This is an international crowd. I love it. Jeff, good to see you. Adam, always good to see a regular here. Okay. Who else? Kinwise, Vicky. Yeah, I know this guy. Thanks. Okay, if you want to get your name mentioned, there is a pinned link in the chat, and you can get your shout out then. Okay, so Femke, Joey, so glad that you are here. For those who don't know you, why don't you share a little bit about who you are and what you do? So Femke, shall we start with you?
Yeah, I would love to start. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be here on this Webflow live stream. Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Femke. You can find everything about me at femke.design. I have been teaching product design for at least 5 years, if not a little bit longer now. I started creating educational videos on YouTube. Eventually that morphed into a course that I now offer. It's called Product Strategy for Designers. And I also offer mentoring as well to help designers kind of level up in their career. And it's been so much fun. I've met so many people on this journey, and it's just incredible to be able to help designers either get into design or level up to that next kind of stage in their career. And so I'm super excited to be on the stream talking about this topic, teaching design. Thank you for inviting me.
Nice, fantastic. Thank you so much. Joey, over to you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. So hi everyone. My name's Joey, based in Columbus, Ohio. Pronouns are he, him, and gosh, it's fun to say now. It's kind of incredible to say, but I'm an independent designer for the first time
Nice.
in my career. 8 months in, and so far, okay, so far going all right. I started my career off working in healthcare and totally fell in love with design systems. I guess that was almost 10 years ago. And since worked at Figma a long time ago, joined Twitter to work on design systems there, and Actually, most recently was over on the Webflow team, and so it's pretty fun to be able to do this. But I'm now working independently. I'm doing some design system consulting. I'm teaching Figma and design systems to companies and individuals, showing everyone all of the new features, how to work with the latest and greatest of the tool. And it's taught me so much about where I think I want to take my career and just the joy of helping and teaching others. And I've absolutely fallen in love with it. So I feel like I have the best job in the world, getting to create things and make things for others. And so glad to be here to share today.
Awesome. Okay, I'm super excited. You two are both powerhouses in and well respected in the design community. So looking forward to just really digging deep in your stories and just learning some insights from you. Okay, so I think we should kick off and start with a little bit of fun. We can jump into let's jump into Figma, and we'll do something like an A/B test, a lightning round A/B test here. So let me switch. Okay, so how this works is I'm gonna put some music on, and so we have questions. So either you drag your profile picture into the slot that you prefer. So coffee or tea, and so on and so forth. So either choice A or choice B. And we got 10 questions, and we're just gonna learn a little bit about each other. So, okay, shall we start? Okay.
I love it.
Coffee or tea?
Definitely tea for me.
Okay. Are you able to drag?
Coffee for sure.
Okay. Femke, I think I will drag for you. Okay, cats or dogs? Real quick.
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay. All right, dog people. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird for me, for sure.
Okay. All right, careful on your answers here. Pepperoni pizza or Hawaiian? This can get a little divisive in our Webflow community. Okay.
Oh, I do like pineapple on pizza, though. I approve of pineapple on pizza.
Okay, all right. You're in both camps. Dark mode or light mode? Joey, I'm curious.
Light mode over here.
All right.
Love light mode.
Now, when it comes to designing websites, mobile first or desktop first?
Oh my God, don't do this to me.
I think there's which do you prefer and which is the right answer. I'm gonna go desktop.
Same.
It's gut feeling. You just got to start. Okay, perfect. Desktop. All right. Apple or Android? Or iOS or Android? All right.
I was Android for a long time, but I switched recently.
Yeah. Team Pixel? Yeah, me too.
I was Team Pixel for a long time.
All right. This is for the crowd too. Is it GIFs or GIFs? What do you prefer to say?
GIFs.
Okay. Grid view or list view? Kind of a random question.
I like list view.
Okay. All right.
I like playing with those dividers and such.
Okay. And finally, Comic Sans or Papyrus if you had to choose for your website.
Comic
your future
Sans.
website.
Comic
Okay.
Sans,
Comic
for
Sans.
sure.
Bring
Classic.
it back,
For
you
sure.
know? I feel like Papyrus had enough time on the screen with Avatar. We got to bring back, show some love to Comic Sans.
Ryan
Oh,
Gosling
yeah,
totally
Avatar.
played it off.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. So let's see here. How many have we counted for both of you in the column A? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A and 1, 2 for B. Okay, we are leaning on A. So that means if you scroll down here, we have both Femke's website and Joey's website. So now what we're gonna do, this is the fun part. Maybe I'll let me share my screen here to go through like a more detailed look of Femke's course, and then Joey, instead of Femke will describe what she does and sell her course, I'm gonna have you go through and critique it and just kind of see what you can gather, and we'll go from there, and then we'll switch places. So okay. So switching over to
Cool.
Figma.
Yeah.
Let's we've broken it down into the sections. We got a hero section, social proof, course description here, who's it's for. We have the about me, curriculum, testimonials, and pricing in the bottom, and finally a call to action followed by a footer. So I'm gonna follow you here in Figma, and
I'm kind of nervous. Like I'm like, oh my gosh,
I know, I am
critiqued by a
too.
great master.
I have to.
by the way, this is
This will
like
be-
very
this will be
light. It's
fun.
no pressure
Yeah.
at all. But yeah.
Yeah, so Josh, what sort of things should I call out? Maybe like my thoughts on who this is for, what the course is, but should I kind of critique as I go, or maybe give some open
Yeah,
thoughts?
let's just say this is like Femke is a up and coming course creator, and it's like this is the draft, and so she comes to you
Okay,
like, Joey, I just need a second opinion. What do you think? Can you go through the structure, things like that?
cool. I like it. It's perfect. That's all the feedback I have. No notes.
End stream. That's it.
It's so funny
See
too. We
everyone.
were saying before this, like our websites kind of match our personalities quite a bit. I think that's true. Well, I'm excited to go through this. So let's see. At the top here, I see a bunch. So I see, of course, in the hero section in the header here, it's a pretty clear statement. Advocate for your ideas, influence product, and step up your career in 4 weeks. So that's a pretty strong heading, I think, right? Like, um, I love the 4 weeks. Like, okay, these are some pretty lofty goals, and maybe this is an area where I want to get better at, especially in that world of like influencing product or design or being more of a um getting my or being a person who's able to get my ideas across at the company I work at. And I like the
Mm,
idea that it's kind of time frame because let's be honest, it's 2024 and I think so many of us are a bit exhausted. And so putting a time frame to that sounds kind of nice. So that seems really strong. This was funny at first. I'm just an American and Ohioan over here. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is missing an L.
uh,
But no, it's not. It's
You're
just a
not the
different
first
spelling.
person to say that to me. I know. I
No, I like it. Don't change it. It shows like exactly where you are, who you are. I love it. So this is strong too, right? Like as I'm looking at this, it's already a bit of social proof up here at the top where it says join over 300 designers who've taken this course. So that shows me that like you're already leading something really successful. 300 of our peers have gone through this. Maybe there's a chance like you or I are already working with them at our own company. So that's pretty great.
mm,
And a clear CTA right there at the top. Now, unfortunately for me, enrollment closes today, and I think this is screenshot yesterday, so it looks like enrollment's probably closed. But it's cool to see that like
right.
a little bit of timeliness or a little bit of rush here up at the top. And leading down below, so it's like we have the social proof of 300 designers, and there's a quote right here from Holly around about how the course went, showing the review, giving a bit of a testimonial. Um, so strong start. I love kind of this like background thing that you've got, this pattern. It reminds me of
Mm,
like a maze up here at the top. And maybe the metaphor is like we're traveling through this like garden maze to get somewhere specific. We had to extrapolate with the meaning behind this. I like it a
Femke,
lot.
feel
It's
free to
cool.
interject. What was the thought process behind
there
this
is
diagram?
no metaphorical thought behind the
We're gonna apply
the
some to
illustration.
it.
But it is a pattern that I use like in my course, like it's part of my course brand, I guess. Like in my lesson videos, I have it actually animates like this kind of maze
Oh,
animates
cool.
in at the start of each lesson. So I
Okay.
just want to carry over a bit of the brand look and feel.
I love
Okay,
it. I'm like, as we'll
fantastic.
see when we get to my site, I am so afraid of doing like color or patterns or anything that feels like, I don't know, daring in that way. And so it's cool to see you do this. And maybe it'll give me a little bit of motivation to do something similar. I like it a lot.
All right.
Also, I mean, just a shout out. This is super impressive. Like congrats to you already. People at Apple and Adobe and LinkedIn and Nike and
Mm-hmm.
Shopify and Google, like those are some big names. So the fact that like 300 people consisting of many of these companies here, that's amazing. That's strong, strong like proof for this course and for the work that you do. Um, Going down, getting a little bit deeper into it. So it's kind of like funnel. Like I've got the idea of like what the course is. I've got a little bit of
Mm,
social proof. Now I'm kind of working my way down a little bit. So, all right. So if I wasn't already clear on the course, now I'm getting a second headline, which is learn to build strategic influence and strong partnerships in one course. So that's already enticing, right? Like the ability to do this in one course. And also it shows me a little bit more about like probably the things we're going to be covering or learning. And honestly, as a designer, I mean, the strategic influence one is pretty interesting because I feel like it doesn't take long for us, like in bigger companies, to want to do more of that, to like want to kind of break out of maybe the area that we're in, or to climb the ladder a little bit, or to get into different areas of the company. It's so easy, and I mean, at different times, like people are interested in different things. I know I certainly am, but it's kind of like, okay, if I am looking for that next step, or if I am looking to do something newer as a designer, or to make like a strong impact, maybe in the company I just joined or the company where I've been at for 10 years, like this shows me perhaps a reason to want to take this course, which I love.
Okay. All right. So we've got the hero section, social proof, now the course description, moving down here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting into cards.
So this is cool, and maybe takes us back to our cards versus list question at the top. I have something like this too on one of an area that I built. I actually really like it because it's like, who is this course for? And this gives me an opportunity as someone reading the site or trying to learn, like, okay, do I fall into this category, this category, this category, or maybe all of them, or maybe none of them, but perhaps all of them or some of them. And so for me, like mid-level designer, check. A challenge individual, like looking to be or to move kind of beyond, like check. And career climber. Again, maybe I'm at a new company, or maybe I'm wanting to level up at the company I'm at. Check. So this is actually, I mean, what you want to typically do in these, right, is to appeal to the person who's like looking at this, to give them even more validation that this is the right thing, the right course. And I think this does that well. And also what's great about these cards too is like they're quick to read, but they provide just a little bit more context into maybe who could benefit from something like this. So I think this is nice.
All
I
right.
have a comment. Can I interject with a comment
Yes,
here
please.
about
Yeah,
thought
Please
process?
do.
I found that like the first card in particular, which speaks to a mid-level designer, interestingly, I have had senior designers reach out to me asking, oh, is this course good for senior as well? I think maybe like the fact that I'm positioning it for mid-level, like seems to cancel out like junior and senior. However, I have had senior people take my course and found a lot of value in it. And I do think there's still space for senior designers to learn and grow in this area. So I don't know. I am curious if there's any thoughts from the group of how I might reposition that or make it like more inclusive of like people in the highest seniority, because it seems to be like some people seem to question like, oh, can I take it if I'm a senior designer, or is it going to be like too junior material for me?
It's an interesting question, especially because like the definitions of careers and where you're kind of at in the hierarchy depend are so unique across
company
like where you work. Yeah, a bit of a bummer, but I think a very realistic thing. And I wonder, like, you know, on the left you've got like mid-level designers, and you're kind of narrowing in on that one. But then on the right you have career climbers. So and I noticed like in the text of these, they're almost saying the same thing, right? Like you're confident in your craft and now you're looking to level up. And on the right, it's almost that same
value
cell.
prop. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe it's not even worth having that first one, or just reworking it entirely to not exclude anyone who might be considering. But like chances are, like if I'm a staff designer, principal designer, a junior designer, a normal designer, right? Like I probably fall into many of these. And I think that's the most important thing here is like, do these points or do these like metrics or value props of the course like align to me versus what's my position at the company currently?
I think that's really good feedback, actually. And like to your point, like the definition of mid is different amongst the industry. So maybe I need to focus less on like your seniority or like your job title and more on just like where you're at in your career and like your level of confidence. So that's some good feedback. Thank you.
The future desired state.
Yeah. You could be at almost any level and have like a lack of confidence or be overconfident or feeling really good in certain areas, right? And it's just kind of interesting how sometimes like the position that you're at and how you're feeling don't necessarily always align.
Yeah. Dale here says the idea to level up is likely true at all levels for many designers. Maybe not labeled specifically for mid-level. So yeah. Interesting.
That's a good point.
Okay, that's a great feedback. You wanna wrap it up for the rest?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe we can kind of speed through.
Yeah.
And then we can go to your site.
I love this next part, right? Like, okay, I'm interested in the course. Now it's like, well, who's teaching this thing? And is this right for me? And I love that you've included a little bit about you. Teaching over 150,000 designers through the platforms you've got. Okay, that's amazing. I'm sold already. Like getting to know you a little bit more. I also think it's really interesting, like when you're meeting an instructor or evaluating like a course, just to kind of know where they've been, right? Because different companies, different culture, different design patterns, different like design challenges, right? And maybe I'm in a similar space as Uber or Wealthsimple or Gusto, and maybe I really align with that, or perhaps like I'm in a totally other industry and maybe it's not the best fit. So this kind of provides a little bit more. I like that you included that. Um, Curriculum, all pretty simple here. This is a question I get a lot too, which is
It's
like, hey,
nice and
well, what's
clear.
actually in the course, right? Like, I'm
Mm,
gonna take it, or I know the value prop, but like, what are we doing? So I think it's helpful to include something like this. Um, this is cool too. This is something I certainly should do, which is like get a free lesson. That ability to like invite someone in, maybe capture their email, capture their interest, like prove the course before they send any
yeah.
money or really enroll, I think is a strong one. So great job there. Um, Down below, I assume, I mean, it'd be a really cool design if these were actually pretty wavy like this, but I
Yeah,
assume that's
that
just the
was part of the
screenshot.
screen capture.
Not supposed to be
Maybe
like that.
something to consider here is like a new language of cards. Um, I mean, this is so strong, right? Like this is probably like a carousel going across here, and just to see all of these 5 stars, these like diversity in names, diversity in like the testimonial and like what really stood out. And one thing I love that you do is like there's a lot of words here, but just that simple highlight is pretty helpful.
Hmm.
This is great. Yeah. Yeah. Because now I'm drawn to that highlight specifically. So, like, all right, this course was well organized. Awesome. I like well organized courses. And like, if I'm spending 4 weeks, I want to make sure it's as organized and efficient as possible. One of the best courses, that's always a plus, right? It's like a strong testimonial. Um, yeah, this is the whole package that you can't afford to miss. So, like, that's like all of these are really strong. And these are probably people who've had just a lot of success. I think it's great that you've like
I was gonna
re-included
say that. Yeah,
yeah, or just like brought that back in of like, all
yeah,
right, well,
reinforced it.
these testimonials are great, but like where did they work or where are they from, right? But just reiterating is strong.
All right, here we go.
Hardest part, right? Like the pricing.
So hard.
It's so hard.
And a different
I have this thing where I
background.
just
It captures the attention. So, how are you doing so far,
yeah,
Femke? Is it good? Is this not too much?
No, this is good.
Okay, great,
cool.
great. The people are
I
very
love this.
nice. There's
Yeah.
no grilling in the chat here, so
Yeah, I
we're
want
good.
some more dirt in the chat. Like, tell me what's
Okay.
not working.
She wants to grill. All right, Joey, what do you think
Um,
about this?
I like this. So, okay, so 2 ways to take the course. So this is kind of like a suggested one, probably, or maybe the most common route. Got a container around it. It's a little bit more highlighted. It's a little bit more affordable. Whereas this one over here is right away. I see personalized coaching. One thing I do kind of wonder is like, all right, I see the difference in price, right? But like, if I miss this, I might not really know the difference.
Mm,
And also like in terms of pricing design, I feel like there's two approaches. There's like you have the checklist on both and they're equal for both, but you just fill in the different check marks, or you only show like what's different between them. I have no idea which one's the right one. I feel like it depends based on the design. But I do wonder if like maybe instead of emphasizing the price, or maybe even putting that in a different spot, like near the button, highlighting like what this is or the value prop here, because this is huge, right? And if I scroll past this way too quickly, or if I
hmm
scroll past this, excuse me, way too quickly, like I might think that these are like more testimonials and might not even read it too much, but I see
Okay.
985.
Right.
Um, and maybe like another thing is like maybe I'm not that interested in 985, but I'm like, oh, personalized coaching for a few hundred more. Like maybe that's a strong sell for me. So perhaps worth highlighting more there.
All right.
Um,
It's good feedback.
this is a small like aesthetic thing, but one thing that I'm wondering is like the kind of dotted buttons, they almost maybe make it feel like they're not like pressable or in a state of, you know what, like it almost feels I don't know what the right word is, like not invisible or not pressable or inactive or anything like that, but more just temporary. Like maybe that's the right word. I wonder if there's
Yeah.
a different treatment for that just to make them stand out a bit more and to feel like you want to click it or you should click it.
Yeah.
Now,
You're not the
Femke.
first person to give me feedback about the
Mm,
design of the button, so now I'm
mm.
feeling
Buttons are
like it's something
hard.
I should change.
Buttons are
Now I'm
so
curious.
hard.
What was your thought behind that, Femke? Do you just
I
really
guess
like dashed
yeah, I think
strokes?
I just liked the personality I think that it brought to the
Mm,
design. And I just for me it also felt kind of like wireframey, you know, like bringing a bit of like design aesthetic
Okay.
into it, like trying a different style. But yeah, maybe it's not working because I've had a few comments that it feels unfinished or like it doesn't make you want to click it, which is interesting.
Interesting. Okay, those who are watching live, what do you think? What do you think about this button? Do you like it the way it is? Are you coming from a product design role where you are so used to like complete states or hover states and solid strokes? So I'm curious to hear about that.
Live button critique.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost harder and scarier than the site critique.
Yeah, Adrian says, I like the dash card borders, but it does distract from the button intention. Okay, all right. That's great. Should we move on?
This is really nice too. Yeah, I was just gonna say quickly, the one question I always get as well is like, well, when's the next one? I can't join this one, so when's the next one, right? And I wonder if there's even a spot here just to join like a wait list, to be able to know or have a reminder of that July 1st date, or like can't make this one, like join the next one. Some way to have that included there would be great.
Yeah,
right.
That's good feedback.
This is such an interesting topic for a website because there's so many nuanced information that you need to really empathize with the visitor, the user, of like, what information do I need if I don't enroll? What upcoming courses are coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else in this section?
It looks really good. I like it. I think like that mental funnel, right? Of like, well, what is this? Okay, well, who's it for? Okay, well, it's for me. And now more about like, I think that's a huge success here. Like you've really gotten down to everything from like what the course is, who it's for, and if it's right for me or not.
Fantastic. And then final CTA, get a free video lesson. So this is capturing we were talking about in previous streams,
lead gen.
Lead
Yeah,
gens.
lead
Yeah,
gen.
this is how important is creating lead gen for you too, as a course creator.
It's everything for
It's everything.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
I've always been really nervous about or scared of it. I don't know why. It's just like not scared to give away something for free. I love doing that, but more of just like it's like here's the first impression of me. What do you think? Right. And then it just feels, I don't know, intimidating from that regard. But it's such a good thing to have an email, a name, like to share something with someone to give them an impression of what you and the material is about. So I love that you're doing that.
I recommend
it's very
it.
subtle here. I like it. It's like, hey, if I trust you, I'm gonna give you my name and email, and that's it. But you're not really like screaming for like attention. So it's quite nice, and then it's paired with another testimonial on the bottom. So that's really great.
I saw we have a question in the chat from Jeff who asked, "What do you do with the leads?" Basically, that's sort of a way to join the wait list. So if you get the free video lesson here, you get added to an email list of mine. And then in future, when I open up the course again for enrollment, like you'll get notified. And then I also just add them to my general email list, which I send like bi-weekly newsletters. So that's what I do with them.
So good. People are loving it. Everything in 4-week cohort should be checkmark bold item on the top of the list. X Adams loves it. Great idea. Treasure chest. So this is good.
Nice job. This is a great site.
Thanks for the feedback.
Fantastic. All right. Well done. You survived, Femke. Now it's your turn.
I thought it was going to be more rough.
It's scary to review someone's site, especially someone like you who I respect and admire. And like, like it's a lot to put this together. And so thanks for letting me go through it.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I know behind the scenes, fun fact, Femke, you were saying you put this together over a weekend. Was that right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's great.
Not me spending like 6 weeks on this one over here.
Okay. All right.
Definitely not. I did this in like a day.
Okay. So.
Oh my goodness.
Take it away. Joey, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm definitely nervous, but excited to have your feedback.
Okay, so I intentionally didn't look at this before the stream because I was like, I want the like raw, unfiltered, like first impressions of this site.
Nice.
So let's see. Baseline. available for design systems consulting, personalized Figma, and design systems training. Okay. So this is really clear what you're doing. You're offering team training, it sounds like, for Figma, like building or maintaining design systems in Figma. You've highlighted individuals, teams, and companies. I like that because it's, again, similar to mine, who it's like, who is this course for? You're getting this in the headline. So straight away, I know who this is for. It's for whether I'm an individual or a team or, you know, maybe my whole company. It's very clear who you're targeting.
That's helpful
curious.
because I played
Yeah.
around with the highlights and what to highlight so many
Yeah.
times. I was like, I know I want to highlight something, but I have no idea what the right one is.
I think this is good. I feel like the training, I'm not sure
Yeah.
why
I
that's
kinda-
highlighted. Yeah, or what are you
Yeah.
trying to get across here?
It's probably unnecessary. Now that I look at it, I don't even know if I have an answer. It's probably
I guess,
unnecessary. Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but when I read this, maybe you're trying to be really clear of like, I'm not going to build your design system, I'm going to train your team. And like, that's a really distinct difference that perhaps for you, it's really important to get across.
I think that's probably what I was thinking about. Where it's like, you know, I do offer consulting, would love to be in there building it, but for this and like this site, it's all about just the training portion, like helping you with the features, helping your team get up to speed. So I think, yeah, but it is interesting how the text makes it look very like isolated in this case.
Yeah, because it's different from like these are about who it's for, but then this is something different, but it's
Right.
like being treated the same way visually. I noticed up here you say available for design systems consulting. So I don't know if you're like flipping between the use of the word consulting and training. Like, is that the same thing or is it something different? Like if it's the same, maybe use the same language, but it is something different.
Meant to be different. We're
Okay.
and it's a hard word to figure out, but like I'm more so
Yeah.
meaning consulting to be like, awesome, I'm joining your team, like embedded in Figma, helping you like build out
Okay.
these libraries. Whereas the training is a little bit more like hour or day specific, that sort of thing.
Okay. That's helpful. I wonder, I don't know how important it is, but like this is like really nitpicky visual design feedback.
Yeah.
Like the black dot, I think if you made it like green, it would be more eye-catching of like I'm available, like open to work, like a status kind of, you know?
That's helpful. Yeah. Be another way to bring that green in.
Yeah, true, because you've already got that going on. Book an intro, that seems pretty obvious. Schedule what? I'm not sure what I'm scheduling.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
maybe just think about that.
Yeah. Just schedule. Just
schedule an intro or like
Yeah.
do these do the same thing or schedule? Yeah.
Well,
it's
on the
not
site,
super
when
clear.
you click schedule, it opens up like a modal. But if you didn't know that,
Okay.
or if you were afraid to click it, or if you thought like, oh, I'm not ready to schedule yet, you might not ever click it. So I think that's good feedback.
Yeah. What is the difference? So book an intro, obviously, maybe like a 30-minute call with you. Schedule is what, like I'm
Get on
ready
the
to commit.
calendar. Yeah, kind of like figure
Okay.
out a little bit more of like yeah, get on the calendar and set up the training essentially. So kind of bypass the rest of the site, but a quick way to like see the open dates.
Got it. Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm on the
I don't
website.
know. Maybe, yeah.
There are some like hover interactions over here, which is really nice. Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful. Okay, then you have the social proof as well. The logos, love it. They're animating. That's really, really nice. I wish I could figure out how to do that. My Webflow skills are not that pro.
We will help you with
so
that, Femke. No problem.
I really like this. Trusted by designers, some of the best teams in the world. That's awesome. And then about myself. So similar to me, I guess, where I'm introducing like who's your instructor. I love this photo you selected. Like it shows, it's like proof that you have status, that you have experience teaching, presenting, speaking about this topic. It actually makes me want to change my photo to one of me standing on stage looking super professional.
It hides how nervous I was on stage.
You look confident in this photo. It's a great picture. I think that's a really good one to choose there. So I really like it. And then you've got, again, like these numbers, you know,
Mm.
you've done like over 600 trainings, 300 companies. Like that's incredible, like unbeatable. I doubt anyone could find someone who has this much experience to offer what you're offering. So I
Okay.
think that's great.
Question here. How important is it as like a course creator or a teacher to really like establish your expert authority in the space without, because you're a teacher, like without showboating and things like that? Like, is there an easy way to do it? Do you have trouble, kind of establishing your authority? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
I think it's a hard problem because if you want to create a course, you have to start somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And I feel so fortunate. Like the big project of mine that was able to share a lot were those iOS kits, and a lot of people kind of saw validation for my work in Figma and knew that I could like do the thing, and I wanted to be able to share behind the scenes of that project, especially. And for me, like I hate talking about myself. I hate that feeling of like, here's why you should trust me. But I do think like even if you don't have it when you get started and then you start to add a little bit more like 2 years of teaching, right? Or like two cohorts trained or 30 students and like 30, that's a lot of people, right?
Hmm.
Especially when you had none like a few weeks ago. So I think you kind of have to do it just to show that you're real and that thing is real,
Yeah.
but it's a hard thing to do.
No, it's great. I think if like, and you've done a great job, by the way. I think like you're emphasizing the impact that you've created, and just showcasing like all the amazing value that you're giving to other people. So cool. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Let's continue. By the way, you guys are
Great
very
question.
detailed. I was not expecting this level of detailed critique. I was just
We're
thinking maybe 10
designers. What
minutes.
did
We'll
you
Yeah,
expect?
yeah. This
this
is
is
gonna
fun.
cover the majority of the stream.
Okay, I'll try to keep it on
All
time.
right. All right.
I do feel like by this point it would be nice to see a testimonial.
Mm,
So I don't know whether it's like in here or maybe combining it with the logos section.
yeah,
Maybe just one strong testimonial would be nice to see.
that's good feedback. Yeah.
And then your next section is around, yeah, this is pricing, I guess, right? So here's kind of the different services that you offer, the team training, design systems, order organizing, and Figma. Okay, I like that you're calling out which one is most popular, the team training, 60-minute sessions, design systems, audit, organizing, and Figma. Okay. I I think one thing I would like to see is who each of these are for. Like back at the top of your website, you know, you have the individuals, teams, and companies. When I come down here, is there a quick way for me to see which one is best for me? So I noticed here in the small text under design systems order, it says for helping individuals and teams. Is there a way to like highlight that a bit quicker? You know, is this organizing in Figma good for like the company level? Is there a way to highlight that?
Good call out. Yeah.
Maybe just bringing that in here somewhere.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and also like text is so hard. I feel like I have way too much in here and no one's gonna read it. But I think like a call out like that or some way to separate that would be really good. Also Devin had asked like why the CTA on each of the learn more buttons instead of the schedule.
Mm.
Kind of a good question. I was almost thinking like I want you to feel I hope to give off like confidence. Like I'm not really trying to get you to schedule right away. I really want you to feel like informed about it and to be able to learn everything about it and then to schedule when you're ready. Maybe taking inspiration too much from Apple, but like I don't know. I just didn't want everything to be like schedule, 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 and more so to drive you like through the site to see the different options before you finally hit schedule.
Good point.
Does learn more take you to a dedicated page about that? Okay.
Yeah, with a little bit more detail, some topics, a testimonial, that sort of thing.
I see.
Let's
Yeah, I noticed the
okay.
team training is the only one that doesn't have a price. Is that intentional or what's your thinking behind that?
It was, yeah, I can't figure this one out. So team training, like I offered two different prices based on the size or like kind of the ask of that sort
Mm.
of thing. So it felt like too complex to put there, but yeah, that
Okay.
was it's
Interesting.
a little awkward how that's the only one that doesn't have it though, isn't it?
Yeah, it almost makes me think, oh, is it free? Maybe if the pricing's complex, you could
Yeah.
put starting at, like a starting at price.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Could be
Yeah.
one way to do it to give a bit of an anchor. I don't know.
I do
Oh, there's
like,
even one more, Design Systems Monthly. Okay,
yeah.
see, I didn't even scroll enough to see the last one.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a good
interesting.
layout.
Too small.
You got the
Yeah.
bento grid going on, so it's very clear.
Yeah,
Gotta
even though
include
you
it.
said you were a list person.
I know.
I'm gonna get you guys back on. Okay, let's see here. Are we back on? Okay, everyone. Apologies. The stream somehow stopped, so we're gonna continue. Hopefully, we are back on. So, okay. Apologies for that. Let me
We're
know
just dropping
if
so much value here. The stream couldn't handle
yeah,
it.
we're crashing the stream from so much value. That's right. Okay. All right, we're back. Let's continue. Let's try to wrap up before anything.
Okay, let's wrap
weird.
it up.
Yeah.
Okay, you've brought a testimonial down here. So yeah, you do have the testimonial. I think it would be valuable to have higher up on the page. And then you pivot a little bit here to training sessions for individuals. Is this like a cross-sell to a different service that you offer?
Yeah, the sites what I'm trying to do is like half of the site or half of the stuff that I do for baseline is for teams and for companies. And then the other half is like kind of one-on-one training, a chance to ask questions, a chance to kind of work a little bit closer together and also priced separately. And so this is that section here.
Okay. I like the design of this, definitely. Not sure what's right for you, book and intro. I think this is a really nice way to end the page.
Yes.
I will say, I do think, although you've got it here, I was going to say you're missing your like lead gen. Down here, grab the newsletter.
Yeah.
I guess this is where people can subscribe. I would make it that somehow easier to subscribe here. Like maybe you already have a form field, so I just type in and press the button. Love that.
Yeah.
That animation, that transition going on there is really nice too. Yeah. Otherwise, I think this is so clean and yeah, I love it. It makes me think my website is too colorful. So now I'm like, how can I make mine more like white space?
And I'm like, oh, that's not colorful enough. That was so helpful. I took actually a bunch of notes during that.
Fantastic.
Like putting the testimonial more towards the top and adjusting those buttons. And someone said all those orphans. I gotta work on that. That's another one too.
Great work.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's the people go wild with the critique.
Thanks.
And I just want to finish off with the baseline here. I know Devin Fountain is watching. He built the website footer, so he's definitely going to be he'll probably be grabbing this site and putting it in his collection.
Oh, I definitely took so much inspiration from all of the awesome sites that are on that site already.
Right. It's great.
It's like I gotta fit in.
Well, thank you so much. Wow, that was so detailed. That was I hope everyone got a lot of value out of that. Yeah, X Adam saying amazing. This is great. Okay, so we have a little bit of time. Should we maybe we'll ask some of the questions I have for you, and then we'll open up for the community. So okay, overall, maybe we can just review what you gain from each other's website based on that little critique, and then you can share one area of like and you already went through it, but like one area where you can improve.
Yeah. Well, it was so great to get feedback from a design maestro, first of all. So thank you, Joey.
Just drawing rectangles over here.
Yeah, I think for me, the feedback about the design of my buttons, that like stroke, that dash stroke probably needs to be changed. Also, the positioning on who this course is for. I think I'm shoeboxing myself too much into mid-level designers when actually I think all designers can get value from this course. It's more about like your personal stage of your career or your attitude or your confidence level rather than where you are on the ladder. So I think I'm going to definitely mix that up a little bit. And I'm going to change my photo to one that's me like a photo of me like teaching and educating. I think that's like more relatable because I really liked how Joey had that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, Joey, how about you?
I think
What's
The
one
big
takeaway?
takeaways were lead gen. Got to work on that. I
Uh-huh.
had to do something there. Give something away for free just to show it more. And what was focusing a little bit more on like who's this for and making that more quickly accessible. Like there's a lot of content on here I know and a lot of different options, and I think that's the weak point of the site at the moment.
Okay,
So
cool.
that was really good feedback.
Fantastic. Okay, so more of a tactical question, but like once your landing page is all, oh, bravo, by the way, thank you. Once your landing page is all designed, how do you plan? Like, how do you plan your marketing to drive traffic to your site? Like, what are there things you need to consider outside of marketing as well, like sales and student management? Like, how do you, for those who are interested in just like teaching or sharing their knowledge, how did you approach it? Like, what are some things to keep in mind? Femke, let's or Joey, it seems like you're
Yeah.
you're ready to answer.
Oh,
Yeah, go
yeah.
Joey.
I don't have a plan. I will be the first to say.
Nice,
But the
perfect.
things I'm doing are I'm trying to use my newsletter and writing about the things I know as a way to, one, I really enjoy it, and two, it's like hopefully another area of proof of like knowing about the tool, knowing about the thing that I'm teaching, and then using that as a way to like advertise the course if you want to continue to learn more. Also, I've just found so much success in like creating things for others and then using that as like an entryway, like a natural, helpful, hopefully entryway to, to continue to like, oh, I really like this person's work. I'd like to learn more from them. And finally, just trying to learn a little bit more about SEO, and it's so broken these days and always has been. But just trying to learn like, okay, how would I like find this guy Joey, right? Like what would I be looking for? And working off of that. And the final thing I'll say is like I would say this is a made up number or like not a totally accurate number, but I would say like 9 out of 10 requests I get are from people who have been referred, both for the
Okay.
course and the trainings. And it just goes to show like the power of like doing a really good job for someone or a team or a company, and then just knowing that, it may take a while, it may take a long time, but like knowing that hopefully that karma will come back around. That part's, yeah, couldn't ask for a better response there.
Okay.
I would
Great.
agree. I think like the best marketing is that organic marketing from your community, right? From people who have interacted with you in some way already or taken your course or your training. That is so valuable. For this cohort that I'm about to run for my course, I actually, for the first time, did a bit of paid marketing.
Okay.
The prior 3 cohorts, I've done nothing paid. It's just been all like organic community, building my audience. But this cohort, I decided to invest a little bit in some sponsored placements in email newsletters of some of my fellow design peers who have design newsletters. So I invested a little bit in that. Another thing I'm investing in this cohort, which isn't going to pay off now, but I'm hoping it will in the future, is I've actually invited some designers who have large followings online to take the course for free in exchange for creating organic content about the course.
Right.
So
I saw
I've
that
asked them to
post.
like document their experience throughout the course, like on Reels or TikTok or whatever, in exchange for, being able to take it for free. And then I'm hoping that that'll help generate leads, and I can also use that material to market the course next time. But
Very
we'll see how it
smart.
goes.
That's an awesome
That's
idea.
so good. And Femke, I gotta toot your horn. Like you've let's see here. I'm gonna go into your YouTube channel here.
Oh yeah, my YouTube.
I mean this is a huge, marketing funnel, and congrats, you have pumped out 187 videos. And I think you have some videos. I was looking, we were talking earlier before that your portfolio videos are like the one that is super popular. I think you had like over 100,000 views, even more in total, like
Yeah.
over 1 million views. So congrats on that. So this is one marketing
Thanks.
funnel. You have a design podcast, which you started with Charlie
I
Prangley,
do.
like
Yes.
10 years ago. So you've been doing this for a long time.
It's a
So good.
while.
So
Yeah.
you were doing podcasting before podcasting was
Was
popular.
cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you were way ahead of the trend. So you got
Thank
YouTube,
you.
podcasting, and then I guess you're doing talks. What other marketing
Yeah. I mean,
like
it's my
plans
social
do you?
accounts, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, my email newsletter is a really big
The
one. I
newsletter.
have
Okay.
about 42,000 subscribers on there. So
Wow.
that's also like a really great direct channel. But yeah, just being active in the community too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that has helped a lot build my audience over time and have, I guess, this like pent up demand. Like when I first launched the first
Okay.
cohort, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how am I going to market this? And it turns out I had so much pent up demand that I didn't
Okay.
need to do much to get the first cohort going. So it worked out.
And how did the demand start? Was it just, I mean, over time building trust with your audience, with your community,
Yeah,
and then they're like,
that's so
Femke, just
important.
make
Yeah.
a course and I just want to throw money at you.
I think there's two things you need to have. You need to have that trust or like
Yeah.
some authority, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the other thing you need to have is um, you need to like know what people need, right?
Right.
Like if you create a course or a training about something that people don't really need or it's not
Mm-hmm.
valued or they don't care about, good luck trying to sell it. I think for me, because I've done like 5 years of one-on-one mentoring with designers, I've had so many conversations over the last few years, and it became really apparent to me the trends of like, where are people struggling or where are the challenges? Where do people really need that help? And I
Mm-hmm.
love helping people one-to-one. But I saw an opportunity to, help a larger group of people. And so that's kind of where the course came from, is
Okay.
identifying this need that people had to, educate themselves in this area. And so that's why I threw the course together.
Interesting. Yeah, I am seeing like a rise of a need for people to position themselves more strategically as a designer, even backing themselves with like business skills and like yeah, I think there's a course out there, ROI of Design, Ryan Scott,
Yes.
like that was
Yeah.
really interesting. So, okay, so you've done that in building an audience over many years. That's great. So I'll switch over to you, Joey, and I know we're short on time. We're almost going to wrap up, but lightning round answer. Like you just started and you transitioned and gone independent this year. How has that been? How have you leveraged whatever, trust and audience community that you've built over time and now launching Baseline?
It's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like to anyone out there who's ever supported me, or just thank you so much. I couldn't do this without that support in the community. I think it's such an awesome and privileged thing to be able to work for yourself and to be able to figure out like who you want to work with and what engagements look like and what the course looks like. It's also pretty scary. I mean, I'll be the
Mm-hmm.
first to say variable income is a new thing, or like some months are okay and then some months are like whoa. But you're kind of working towards like that end goal, right? And if there's going to be flexibility and that like there's just different shifts throughout the year, it makes it all feel a little bit more accessible and easier. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I have the best job in the world to like come down here in this office and like just help people
Mm-hmm.
and work on the things that I'm really passionate about. It's also to the earlier point, like you just have to figure out a lot. I was surprised, I think, when I learned how much of independent designing is just emailing, and like marketing and like
Marketing. Yeah.
legal and reading contracts and all of the things that you just don't think about. I think that's like 60% of the job. And then the other like 30% is designing and 10% is for like taxes. And it all adds up.
Interesting. Okay, last question for you. Where do you think just your thoughts on where the future of like online education is going and like education in tech? Where do you see the opportunity gaps available like right now? Is it getting saturated, or is there still a lot of opportunities for those who are interested? Want to get your thoughts on that.
I think there's always room for more teachers and educators.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes it can feel overwhelming, right? I hear that a lot from designers. They go online and want to find a course, and there is so much out there now. So I can understand that like overwhelming, but I think it's also really great that we have so many resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the diversity in, you can learn about a topic from different teachers, different educators, and build your own treasure chest of skills or frameworks or, techniques and things that apply well to you. So I think there's always space for more voices here. I never want to be like the only person talking about this topic. I welcome more and more design educators. I think it's a great time to start.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the exact same. It's like I was actually feeling this pressure pretty recently where, yeah, there's a lot of people out there teaching Figma now, right? But I think the best thing about that is like, yes, we're all talking about Figma, but it's all from different perspectives. My background might be different than this person's background, who's different from that person's background. And like I try to focus on mobile design and systems where someone else might be focusing a lot more on like, or coming from the perspective of brand or desktop design or
Right.
web design. And like that's what makes it interesting. Two people can be talking about the same exact thing, but in totally different ways. And if you're ever intimidated or unsure about like starting a course, even if you see other people out there doing it, it's like no one has your voice and no one has your experience,
Right.
your perspective. And that's
Totally.
what I really love about this field. This ability to like help others and do it through just talking about what you know is the best.
Yeah, that's when you dive into the whole world of branding and brand identity and all that, and yeah, which is a whole other episode. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I got a lot of value from the community here, so people are really really grateful. So
Thanks for having
all
us.
right,
Yeah, this is
now.
so great.
Yeah.
For those who want to get a hold of you, how can they reach out to you? I know I'm going to pull up right now. We have resources. So if you go to the Webflow live stream page, we have Femke's product strategy for designers course, 20% off. And you just launched your cohort, right? So when's the deadline on that?
Yeah, today is the last day to enroll. So
Okay. All right.
technically yesterday was the last day, but I've extended it just for this group of people watching the stream. So if you want to join us, we're starting July 1st. So you can go ahead and enroll by the end of today.
Fantastic. And Joey, yours is 30% off here with this link. So
Yeah, coming
limited
up in
time.
August. Re-recording all the videos for Config next week, and I'm very excited about this one. It's gonna be a lot of work ahead, but it'll be fun to launch this in August.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. And that wraps it up. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. I'm going to give a shout out to the crowd here for submitting the name. And let's see who's here. The UI Unicorn. We got Raj. We got Galilea, Dale, Aaron, Praneeth, Jeff. Thank you for joining. Pietro, Andrew, Ashke, Sam, Bradley, Sudesh. I'm actually nailing every name here. Mano, Ali, John, Juan, Carl, Rahul, thank you for joining. Wakas, Rob, Olay, Hussein, Lewis, Yinka, and X Adam. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break next week. We are going to be at Config. And so we'll see you in 2 weeks, and it'll be a good one. So thank you so much. Have a great week and take care.